Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time we're going to go over the people.com, and this is about a old case that just resurfaced again. Hae Min Lee's family releases statements after Adnan Syed's murder conviction is vindicated. If you are not aware, back in 1999, Hae Min Lee was eliminated, and they blamed her then boyfriend at the time, who was Adnan Syed. And it was pretty much a really quick open and shut case. They didn't look into any other evidence. They never they just focused solely on him, and he spent the last 20 years in jail. And yesterday, or today, he was released finally. And that was due to evidence that was never presented to his defense. Apparently, there were two other gentlemen of interest at the time that they threw to the sideline, even a threat that Hae Min Lee had received prior to her being terminated. So let's get into this article. And it says Adnan Syed was convicted in 2000 of Hae Min Lee's murder, but he walked out of prison yesterday after the conviction was vindicated. This article is by Corin C. I'm not going to even attempt to butcher, for fear of butchering the last name. And this is the person we are talking about, Hae Min Lee. And she was 18 years old when she was eliminated in 1999. For more than 2 decades, Lee's family has believed that her killer was behind bars after then 17-year-old Adnan Syed was arrested and found guilty of murdering her in a 2000 trial. Now the courts are saying the conviction was a mistake. Yesterday, September the 19th, Baltimore Circuit Judge Melissa Finn vindicated Syed's first-degree murder conviction, saying prosecutors failed to turn over evidence to his lawyers that could have helped him prove his innocence, according to an law obtained by obtained by People. Syed's murder case gained nationwide attention after being featured on a popular true crime podcast, Serial, in 2014. Shortly after yesterday's hearing, Syed, now age 41, walked out of the courtroom a free man. Yes, he did. The attorney of Lee's family requested that Syed's hearing be postponed until the family could participate, but the judge ruled against that motion. However, according to WBAL TV, Lee's brother, Young Lee, made a statement in the court via Zoom asking the judge to postpone the hearing. This is not a podcast for me. It's real life that will never end. It's been 20 plus years. It's a nightmare. This is killing us, he said. Steve Kelly, a lawyer for Lee's family, spoke out of the courthouse saying, "We are disappointed that today's hearing happened so quickly, with unfortunately no notice, in that the court acted the way it did, and that the prosecutor's office made the recommendation the way that they did. This family is interested in the pursuit of justice. They want to know more than anybody who, killed their family member, basically." you know, and that's what they're reporting so far. Continuing on with the article, it says Kelly also released a statement from the family. For more than 20 years, the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office has told the family that Hae Min Lee, that their beloved daughter and sister, was eliminated by Adnan Syed. 1 week ago, for the first time, the family was informed that though a year-long investigation that is apparently still ongoing, the state has uncovered new facts and would be filing a motion to vindicate Mr. Syed's conviction. For more than 20 years, no one has wanted to know the truth about who killed Hae Min Lee more than her family. The Lee family is deeply disappointed that today's hearing happened so quickly and that they were denied the reasonable notice that would have permitted them to have a meaningful voice in the proceedings. Okay? On Wednesday, Baltimore prosecutors filed a motion to vindicate the murder conviction of Syed, saying new information was discovered and citing the possible involvement of alternate suspects, according to court documents obtained by People. Prosecutors said that they will continue their investigation and bring a suspect or suspects to justice. Prosecutors did not definitely say they believe Syed is innocent. Prosecutors now have 30 days to decide whether they are going to pursue a new trial for Syed or they're going to let that man go free. You feel me? But this is my thing about it. When it happened back in 1999, again, this is just my opinion of how I felt at the time, that all of this was going on. They rushed the whole court case. Like, they didn't look for nobody else. They didn't search and see, if it was a link to anybody else or anything. They just straight threw this little young guy in jail, and he was 17 at the time. His whole life changed within a matter of days, of her being discovered and the process and stuff. And I understand that families' needs for justice and them thinking that they had the correct killer in there, but in the best interest, as the statement said, they wanted to know more than anything what happened to her. So what if what happened to her was not done by Saeed's hands? Yes, they were dating. Yes, they were in a relationship. They didn't, and from the reports back then, I believe, I may be mistaken, but I'm not kind of fuzzy because it's been a minute. They did not have a relationship that was toxic or, just, arguing, fussing, fighting, and stuff like that. It was just like a regular relationship. So, for this to come up, and they didn't give them his team at the time the evidence about the other people, about her being threatened and everything like that, and prior to her being found and stuff, and all this stuff, and two other individuals being involved possibly, is just a miscarriage of justice, and it shouldn't have taken 20 years. Even though the family of Min Lee said that it was rushed and things like that. Well, they rushed to convict him, and they rushed to give him that life sentence. Because if you go back, hun, they really did. Like, it wasn't like, the court of public opinion did not even matter. It was like, hey, we got our guy, we're gonna get him. He's bam, bam, boom, life. Sit your ass down forever. You feel me? And that's basically what happened to that man. I'm glad that he's getting a second chance. I'm glad that after 20 years he wasn't being passed over yet again, because this case had came up many times. Many people have talked about it. like they say on the podcast and other places, other, platforms and stuff like that. And, his case was just passed over. Like, he was literally left there to rot for 20 years. No one wanted to, look into it. You know how they look into cold cases and stuff like that, unsolved murders and wrongly for convicted people, like, and stuff like that. Like, for some reason, they just passed this man over year after year. And finally, after 20 years, he's getting some sort of, even if he winds up getting tried again, the mere fact that it took 20 years for them to actually do this, and for that evidence of them other two individuals, people of interest to come, out, and not people be presented at the time of his trial, which could have vindicated him, even though the boy had an alibi. I mean, it's mind-boggling. But with that being said, you guys, I would like to know what you think about this case or any other story that I post on my channel. I will link all the descriptions and information and details in the description box, as I always do. And let's get the conversation going. And with that being said, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And I will get with you in the next video.